welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Tamanda, and today I'd like to speak with you about how you can get around living in America as an international student. First, I'd like you to know that I'm an international student at New Mexico State University, that is in Las Cruces, New Mexico State, which is on the southwest border of the United States. I have been here for about 4 months, and so far it hasn't been a jolly ride, but then I have learned so much along the way. And I just thought that, it'll be good that I share this with you just in case some of you are thinking about coming to the United States for further studies, or basically trying to find a way in which you can get around adjusting to a new place as a student. And hopefully you find this helpful. So, first and foremost, be prepared. You do not need to be frail. It is not going to be an easy ride, but it is going to be totally worth it. I left my country on the 30th of December 2016, and I literally spent New Year's Eve in an airport waiting for the shuttle that I had booked to come pick me up the next morning. So, you're gonna have to find a way in which your travel may be flexible and also a bit reliable. I understand that the time that I was traveling, it was sort of in the middle of the holidays. So basically, I wasn't bound to find that many people on campus. Everybody had gone for holidays. But I was able to get enough information from the international office, and they told me how to get around arrival in Las Cruces. However, what happened along the way is that as I waited for the shuttle, I ended up waiting at the wrong spot that wrote shuttle pickup. But as soon as the time that the shuttle was supposed to come pick me up arrived, I heard them call out my name over the microphone. Come on the travel to report to the lobby. I didn't know where the lobby was, so it took me a while to find the lobby, and it seemed like not many people knew where the lobby was. I asked the lady running the front desk of the car rental office right next to me where it was, and she had no clue. But it was only like 6-7 minutes away. Anyways, I got there a little late, and by that time, I had missed my pickup. So I had to wait an extra 3 hours in the airport. Mind you, I had no phone. The only way I could get by was to ask people for a phone number that I could call. So yes, you do not need to be frail. Depending on the ticket that you book, you may also end up, traveling longer hours. So you're gonna be tired, but you need to be strong and to be firm. Second, remember that all hotels are not hotels. I hadn't booked a hotel, but then I had been given numbers of hotels that I could book into. I called a few, and the one that sounded a bit reasonable for me, and the one that the college had recommended that I go sleep there, I thought that would be a good decision. So I went all the way to that hotel. But by the time I got to the front desk, they told me I was too early. People are able to check in late afternoon. I didn't know that that's a rule here in America. Maybe it applies to this state, but I couldn't check into a hotel. But then I gave out a little sad pity face. I'm like, I've traveled for like over 24 hours. I think I had traveled for about 41 hours. Yeah. So isn't there a room at least that you can let me check into? So they looked through the system and they said, oh yeah, but it smelled of cigarettes and it was cold, and that hotel does not provide any food. I had to find a taxi to get me to a place where they sell. I mean, really, the least they could do for someone traveling a long distance was at least offer, food and breakfast at least. But they did not have those services at the hotel. Lucky enough, I had some food in my bag, in my suitcase, so I was able to use that. But yeah, all hotels are not hotels. Do your research. Third of all, I'll also want you to know that you need to take your time to find housing. Depending on your age and your preferences, you may want to live on campus or off campus. In my case, I decided to live off campus because it was going to be a little reasonable, cheaper for me, and also I didn't want to get into the system of living on campus, getting into the dorm rooms and being assigned a dorm room, and I love my freedom. But lucky enough, I was able to find housing on a Facebook group that posts regularly vacant rooms and, for students and whatnot. So I arranged to get into one of the rooms with about three three people had posted about different rooms in different locations. By the time I got Las Cruces, two of them had already given the room away. There was only one, and I was desperate. So I still ended up going into that house because I did my math and I thought that, it's going to cost me a little bit more if I decide to stay in a hotel. So maybe I should just try to get into a permanent home. However, eventually I realized that that situation wasn't working for me. It was a little distance from the campus, and some of the living conditions were not in my favor. So I decided, to find something else that worked for me. A month after, I moved into an apartment with another international student. So that really worked for me. I would have loved to take more time into finding accommodation, but I did not have that time. If you're traveling to a new state or a new place or a new town, find a way in which you can find at least temporary housing, because I ended up paying a lot more for the home that I moved into at first, not knowing that I was not going to stay there for long, not knowing that I was not going to be happy with the living conditions. So it was my loss, but then by the end of the day, I wanted a situation that worked for me. So I did not try to stick around just so I get my money's worth. There you have it. And another thing you also need to be cautious about is that you need to make money work for you, because this is the most important factor about your stay in a new state. Make money work for you. You do not need to think too much about maybe you need to have savings enough for a year, but at least have enough saved up for about 2-3 months, because as an international student you will be allowed to work on campus, but then it's for limited hours. And even if you're on a scholarship, sometimes scholarship money takes time to get to you. So have enough saved up to help you get through the bills, and just to find ways in which you can settle in your new place. And always be cautious that there's always good deal shops around. There's thrift stores and and there's always good deal shops like the Dollar Tree. You can also get there to get a few things, remember, but then you will get your money's worth. And basically try to look up any other good deal shops that are around your city or your location, and try to get to those, just so you save up enough money to help you get by the first few months of your stay. And well, like almost everybody will say, be ready to walk. There are other towns or cities that do have public transportation, but public transportation does not really work. So you need to be ready to walk long distances. As soon as you get your phone, you may want to get a few things that you need, but then you're thinking, if I get the taxi, it's gonna be expensive. Like in Las Cruces, I was definitely discouraged from booking the taxi. But my second day of staying here, they're like, you don't want to use the taxi because they're going to charge you. And I didn't have any card to use to get an Uber. So I found myself walking like 45 minutes just to get to Best Buy. I needed some electric stuff and whatnot. So it took me a while to adjust to know how the public transportation system works. The campus that I'm in has a shuttle, but this shuttle does not get anywhere. It does not get everywhere on campus. So, there are other distances that I had to walk, literally walk with the scorching heat and whatnot. And be ready to walk. If you have some money saved up, look up how you can get a bike at least to help you commute from one place to another. And if you're into such thrills such as a skateboard, try to take advantage of that if you can. And last and final tip that I would like to share with you today is that you need to get over your embarrassment, get over your shyness, and ask. Yeah, ask. Because you won't get by if you don't ask. We're usually shy. I know that there's some cultures whereby we're usually shy to ask for help or to, to show vulnerability to other people, but you'll be surprised at how many people are willing to help out there. Get to the international office, the international student office, check in with the staff members there, let them know that you're there. They will tell you what the next steps is. That is even before orientation. You can do that if you have enough time between your arrival time and your orientation date. Get to your department, talk to the head of the department, the dean, even any of the staff members who are there. Talk to them about what you've come to study, how you can get around into your studies. If you need some help even with your finances, you get to the financial office and talk to a financial advisor. Trust me, you will need them a lot, and the financial office matters tremendously. So you need to know, this is probably going to be your bill, and this is how you're going to pay for it, or this is how your scholarship wants you to get through these credit hours. So remember to ask. If you are of a strong faith like myself, I really, really believe in the power of prayer. I looked up a church online. I couldn't find any group on campus, any student group on campus that was in line with my church. But then I still googled up my church, and I was able to find a few in my city. And I tried to reach out to one of them, and then I also reach out to another, because you never know who's going to respond. Because sometimes contacts are given on an older website, but then they may not really work, or they may not respond to you in good time. You will need your faith right now more than ever. So reach out to a church and or a prayer house. Get to visit that church at your earliest convenience whenever you're ready, and socialize and talk to the people there. They will keep you strong. Remember, you're building your community, so you need to at least reach out and establish links and friends, and you'll be surprised at how many people have so much in common with you. Like in my case, I was looking for someone who is also from Malawi, and I didn't find one, but then I was happy to go to the church because I even met people who had been to Malawi or who knew about Malawi. So it sort of made me stronger. It kept me comforted, and I felt really at home. And also on campus, there's so many student clubs, student groups, or associations that you may want to associate with. Try to reach out to them, and talk to a peer mentor. Ask, don't be embarrassed, really. Basically ask even any other students, help them, ask them how they get by their studies, how they are able to live in the city that you're now in. Get a few tips on that, and definitely it will all be worth your stay. So remember, it all seems impossible until it is possible. So why not try? Thank you so much for watching my YouTube channel. If you liked, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment if there are any other things that you would like to know, or if you would like to see on my channel. I plan to keep this channel updated every now and then whenever I can. And yeah, I would really, really appreciate to hear from you. Any other comments, opinions, and yeah, thank you for watching, and look out for the next one. Thank you.